George Orwell's real name was Eric Arthur Blair. He was born in 1903 in Bengal, India. He was sent to school in England at the age of 8. He had to study very hard in order to win a scholarship to continue his studies, since his parents did not have the necessary money. He refused to go to Oxford or Cambridge, and he decided to enroll in the Indian Imperial Police in Burma. He actually even refused to become part of the ruling class. He even decided to abandon his upper-class friends, family, and worked in London Imperial hotels and restaurants. This because he had a sort of sense of guilt towards the working classes. He even often used to associate with tramps and unemployed. He used to work in private school and bookshops, and had some struggles with winning a name for himself as a writer. He fought on the Republican side in the Spanish War, and he also used to write about the poor part of London and Paris. One of the main works that he wrote about it was The Road to Vegan Pierre, which is an account of his life and work with miners. As we said before, he fought on the Republican side in the Spanish Civil War, and during this period, and as a result of this experience, he wrote Homage to Catalonia, which is a description of his time in Spain. During the World War II, Orwell was rejected from the army, and he went to work for the BBC Indian Service. The fact is that as the years went by, his disillusionment with the methods of world communism started to grow. This is probably the reason and the period in which he wrote Animal Farm, which is one of his biggest and most known masterpieces. And it was released in 1945, and it's a satire of the Russian Revolution. Another incredibly important work was 1949, which is a novel which describes a future world in which a tyrannical power headed by a dictator, which is called Big Brother, controls man's actions and thoughts through telescreens and microphones. This is the symbol of how mass media are gaining much more power over men. That even reminds us of a reality show which is well known and still we can watch on our TV, which is called Big Brother. We need to say that the model of a constant control is in reality one of the many dark sides of the Enlightenment, which means that many other authors before Orwell talked about this topic. It's, for example, one of the novel from Bentham, which is called Panopticon, in which he describes these prisoners that are watched by these overseers from a tower. Even a single guardian can observe all the prisoners at all time, and they can have the possibility to understand when they are actually observed. So they always constantly have to observe constant discipline. Anyway, Orwell wasn't inspired by Bentham. Orwell describes the reality of England in 1980. In this reality, English society is governed by an omnipotent single party headed by Big Brother, which is a character that no one has ever seen in person, but who is portrayed in countless posters and manages to control all the citizens through cameras and televisions installed in every home. Any form of privacy is cancelled, and this society is monitored by the psychopolice. The only admissible form of thought is the bis pensiero, a creed inspired by Lenin's dialectical materialism. What we probably don't know is that the reality show takes its name by this novel, and that's why it calls the Big Brother, Il Grande Fratello.